Hello, welcome to Planeo. My name is Eugen. We're here in our attic, and in this corner here, an acoustic panel will be installed. We've already made videos about that too. You're probably already familiar with it. It's now available in our shop. The acoustic panel is a really beautiful product. You can use it to improve the sound or room acoustics. It has a filled backing here on the back. And on top we have these panels, which have a real wood surface. It serves an acoustic function, and you can also use it very nicely to create accents in the room. You can either cover entire surfaces or just partial areas. Order some samples. We have various samples available. Right now I only have the dark ones here, but they're also available in light. So we have a wide variety. Check out the website. Here you can see. These are our samples that we have here on site. Also, flooring samples. This is a sample of our wood paneling that we did here. And all these things are installed here. When you design yours, order different samples and hold the samples together. Then you can actually touch the samples. You can lay them next to each other so you can see if they match or not. Because it's always hard to judge from pictures or on a screen. When you have it in your hand and see it in real life, and what's also important is, always look at samples in daylight. Not in a room with artificial light. When the sun comes up, you might think, was that it? And the color tone looks different. As for mounting, you can glue them with construction adhesive. You can screw them in, or you can even nail them in onto different types of surfaces. That depends on what kind of surface you have. On a smooth surface, you could glue it, or also screw it in. If you have a solid, smooth surface, you can also mount them to the wall with wall plugs. If you were to screw individual wall plugs into the wall here, you wouldn't need that many anchoring points. If you want to remove it again, and you'll see relatively few traces left behind. Here, we actually have insulation behind it. That means you can also insulate an exterior wall and use this as cladding instead of a drywall panel. Or you can also use them as ceiling cladding as panels. For example, you can choose a lighter tone or a darker one, whatever you like, and finish the entire ceiling with them. Here we have the wall timber frame construction with insulation and a vapor barrier. And now you could install them horizontally right on top here because they're nicely aligned. But here, the customer decided to install them vertically. That's why we're going to screw on a counterbatten now. So we can attach them like this. Yeah, Alex has already started. He's all ready. Cut the battens and soon we'll attach them here. So, before you mount them on the wall, first take a good look at how it fits, because we have these panels here. And when you're planning the layout, make sure you don't have to cut one in half, or cut at the back. You first need to roughly calculate on the wall how many you need and where they'll go. Same goes for this corner here. We've decided to cut at the back and butt this one up to the front, so that it fits like this here. Because we want to have a full one at the front. So we'll finish off with a full one at the front here. And for that, it's important to measure here on the wall and also with the panel to see how many full ones will fit for cutting. So Check what kind of saw you have. You can cut them with a handheld circular saw. You can cut them with a jigsaw. You can also use a handsaw, but always make sure what kind of saw you have and in which direction it tears out. So, when we cut with the handheld circular saw, we cut from the backside. That gives us the best cutting result. There are jigsaws with teeth pointing upwards. There are some with teeth pointing downwards. So, accordingly, do a test first on a piece you don't need to see which direction you should cut. Otherwise, you will cut and then wonder why it's fraying. And this is a composite material, and on top here, there's a wood veneer. That's why it's really a good idea to try it out first. If you're cutting from the top, then you need to make sure you put some tape on here for protection. First, so it doesn't tear out as much, and second, so that when you run over it here, you don't damage the wood surface. Alright, now we can see here. We have to be precise and cut in line, but the staples are there, which is obviously not ideal. So now we need to make sure we remove the staples first. But before that, either with the stapler, we had a stapler. Of course, you have to make sure the staples are long enough so that they go through the window and into the panels. Then you can staple them in place. Or you can also use small screws. Of course, they shouldn't be too thick and not too long, so they don't come out the other side. And if they're too thick, they'll split the wood, which is also bad. So, use thin little screws. Then fasten it once, here, each panel, and then we can loosen these, otherwise they'll shift later. It's kind of blued here, but yeah, it'll shift later when you saw through it. There will be some pressure from the saw as we go along, and then it can happen that they shift. Our project here is now finished. I'm especially excited about this. I mean, acoustic panels are always nice anyway, but in this project, they really stand out. Just look at this corner. Here, we did this one wall. We covered the window wall. There's even a cabinet built from it here with sliding doors. Honestly, I'm thrilled. Here, it really comes into its own. We have the panels in different patterns. We have them in lighter shades, and we also have them in darker ones. They serve a visual purpose here. You can really beautify your space with them. But they also have a big acoustic advantage. You can control or reduce the sound development in the room with them. If you have a large room where you get echoes and things like that, that already absorbs quite a lot. So you can really do a lot with it. There's a kind of fleece on the back here, so order yourself some samples. Also from other products we have. We have even more wall coverings, and subscribe to our channel. Check out our shop. You're also welcome to use our consultation service. Give us a call, write to us, hit the bell so you stay up to date when new videos come out. See you next time. Bye.